Let's talk about being gay. Pride is really a special date because it marks our revolution, our opportunity to live life the way we want it. And similarly to what we're living today with racism, Pride is a moment in which we can celebrate who we are. Telling stories made us realize that we are represented, that we are part of something, that we are not alone. And for so long, we have been alone. I remember being a kid and watching Will and Grace and really wishing for that, for that kiss to happen. I was obsessed with Will. Yeah, we've came a long way, and above all with representation, and we have to thank the theater, and we have to thank the craft and the writing of people that came before us and made us feel included in the world as we live. But that also comes from a place of understanding the importance of people coming out to the streets and standing up for their rights, as it's happening today with the BLM movement. Until coming out of the closet is no longer necessary for our young people, it means oppression is still a shared space for all of us, because oppression is an intrinsic part of who we are. And that's why Pride as a celebration is so important, because it reminds us that we no longer live within the oppression that we were taught we should submit to. Pride just became a real big celebration of who we are and of our space and of the things we conquered, which is amazing. But we can't forget that the fight is not over. If you have a turd and you covered it with glitter, it will still be a turd. Learning who we are as queer people means learning a full language of suffering by ourselves. It means learn how to live our sex lives, our emotion, our way of dealing with the world and the way of sharing the world, and the oppression that now is less obvious, but it's part of us because the suffering of the generations that passed are part of us. Storytelling is a space to escape. The arts are a space of liberation and expression. The arts are a space where we can really live and share our deepest fears and our deepest suffering, and that's what makes us who we are. We have to thank Tony Kushner for his work with Angels in America. We have to thank all those writers that came and told our story and made us feel included. Telling stories is where we really start building blocks of who we're gonna be in the future. And that's where the arts play an essential part, because it provides you with a space to be free. It provides you with a space to escape. It provides you a space to put your suffering and your difference and your understanding of yourself into something that is beautiful. When I was 13, I had a group of boys that tried to make me touch another boy as bullying. And I stood up to them and they would take me to the lamppost, which is a very horrible bullying game that teenagers used to do at that time in Portugal, which was basically taking people. Oh, this is a bit hard. They would grab me by my legs, and they would open my legs, and they would take me to a lamp post, like that. Like 3 or 4 or 5 times. And that happened to me more than once because I was the gay boy in school. It's not that I didn't think that what they did was not horrendous, because it certainly was. But I did feel that what they did was somehow acceptable because I was doing the wrong thing for liking boys. But the theater gave me a space to explore that. And the arts provided me with that. Provided me a space of beauty that I didn't have to think, that I could be other people, that I could be accepted, and that I could just play other things because being with myself was so hard. And the arts are an excellent way of putting all that energy towards something that you can control. Because ultimately that's what an artist does. He or she is able to make decisions. Tony Kushner, in his play Angels in America, says, "One wants to move through life with elegance and grace, blossoming infrequently, with exquisite taste and perfect timing, like a rare bloom, a zebra orchid. One wants, but one seldom gets what one wants, does one? We may not always be successful at blossoming with exquisite taste, but we try our best, and we are fabulous at trying." And I feel that my life was very much a proof of that. Now, for me, the theater has done everything. I come from a very religious background. My parents, they were both pastors, and I had quite a difficult childhood because I got put on a psychologist when I was 12, and she used to say that anytime I have any cravings, interesting word choice, that I should call her. So anytime I would feel like I really like this boy, I really want to talk to him, then I should call her and just talk to her about it. That happened for 2 years, and my parents knew, and I was in treatment to stop being gay, and got into drama school. I was what really changed my life. And it really meant a lot to me to just know other people that were like me, and to know that I wasn't alone in the world. My dad used to tell me that masturbation was a sin. So wet dreams are the way of God to take your urges away from you. And it was a present, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I started having wet dreams, and I had wet dreams with men. And there were all kind of devilish dreams because, of course, I was living in fear. And when I decided to come out, it wasn't like, Mom, Dad, I am gay, but it was more of, Mom and Dad, I'm gonna be gay because I can't deal with this anymore. Who is this God that gives me wet dreams with men when this is the one thing that he's supposed to do to alleviate me? And I was lucky enough to have met incredible people that showed me that I could live a different life. So I leaped. And that was really hard for my parents, and they stopped talking to me for 2 years. And then I left home at 15. And I went to live with some friends, and I was going mad with the long nights out. I failed school for basically 2 years. And I learned to be me. And I learned to love who I am and to understand who I am and to have respect for myself. And it was all because of the theater. It was all because there was a space for me of people that loved me. And understanding them and understanding artwork really made me understand myself deeply. And it made me get to a point of confidence that I could bring myself back to my parents and we could restore our relationship and we could have the most amazing relationship that we have today. I'm so proud of being gay. So proud of living this world in my own way, and I am so lucky to have created this love for this amazing culture that today is such an ingrained part of me. And that really changed me. That really allowed me to be who I am. 2020 is very much a mirror of what gays have lived. We're living through a pandemic, and we are living on a time of resistance. Let's not forget that pride is pride because of a black trans woman that was brave enough to throw a bottle to the police. And because of her revolt, we today are allowed to celebrate and to be together and to be in the streets, but black trans women keep on being murdered.
Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
Black lives matter!
Thousands and thousands of gay men died in the 80s because of the AIDS crisis. And imagine how horrible it is to think that your love can kill the person that you love. That changes things for generations and generations. The things that we live today as gay men are very much informed by this fear. We live in a different time. But we learn how to have sex from each other. We learn how to love from each other. There is, however, a second pandemic, and no one is talking about it. The amount of friends that I have that have serious problems with Tina, I feel that every gay man in a big city knows someone that have died from drug abuse over the last few years. It's incredible because it is a real problem, and we're not talking about it. Then we go, and Pride is all about celebration and celebration and celebration, and it's all about beautiful bodies walking on the streets, and gayness became all this thing about happiness and the beautiful boys. And people are falling for those drugs because they have nowhere else to turn. Because they have so much pressure to have the perfect body, the perfect job, the perfect friends, and the perfect house, and there is so much peer pressure on gay men. We shouldn't use our own culture to make others feel bad. We should take care of each other, and we should use our suffering that is inherent to us in a much more beautiful way than what we do today. We should use this suffering that is part of us as beauty, and we should transform it in something really positive, and we should help others to understand that life is just so much more. And if you can do that to yourself, then you can do that to others. If everyone helps the next, then the world will just be such a better place. And we're all gonna move forward. And let's keep on telling stories, because the stories that you tell today are gonna help people tomorrow. I love you all. If you like this video, hit the like button, and for more like this, hit the subscribe. And whatever day of the year you're watching this, happy Pride. Because if you can't love yourself, how the hell can love somebody else? Can I get an amen? Says she.